Alright guys, coming back into this is L3 IRD, the bear getting some words with the one, the only YMK, yes man, Kablam, but we are into round number 2, but round 1 we'll go back into that really quickly. What an amazing match with newer players. Round number 2 coming into this, maybe some people have heard, maybe you haven't heard too completely, but it is going to be the one, the only Sofanda Cox. I actually don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's what it says, and I'm sticking to it. With the purple side gonna be the Minion. But yeah, these two teams, I'm thinking Sofa, they've actually played this before a little bit. Yes, ma'am?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Sorry, blue team, Sofanda Cox.
The chat.
Yeah, no problem. Sofanda Cox, they played this before, right? I'm guessing.
Yes, actually, I believe this is a rematch from last week. Sofa NDA, I'm going to be calling that all tournament, so deal with it. Sofa NDA actually pieced out the Minion last week, so this is a rematch.
Oh, okay, sweet. So the rematch coming into play. Oh, sorry, Sofa took it the last one. Looking at the actual names, truthfully, I watch DominateDominion when I can, and I always see, well, Pays, Evelyn, Child Support, Cheese, Enema, usual big boys out there sometimes. But looking at the teams over here, there's a lot of new faces. I'm liking the new crowd coming out from both these teams, Sofanda and the Minion.
Yep. And so let's go over the chat bans, or all the bans since they have finished up. Chat bans were Nidalee, Fizz, Jace, and Kassadin. So these are much more typical bans. Nidalee is banned because her Q spear, you can miss 99 of them, you hit the 100th one, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how many you miss, you hit one, it's going to do like 80% of somebody's life, and either they're out of the fight or they're going to risk dying. On top of that, she's got the traps, which reveal for 12 seconds and reduce armor MR by 40%. Incredible jungle control, arguably better than Teemo's. And then her other skills, they're good. She's got some AP burst damage in Cougar form. Her heal is an attack speed steroid, so that's good too, but it's really the poke and the jungle control that kind of makes her out of control. So very common ban, good choice by Sofa NDA. Second ban, Fizz. Fizz, he's been rising in popularity a lot recently. He's got 2 repositions between his Q dash and his E flip, the troll pole, which will, if you are about to hit him with a skill and he jumps onto his pole, it fizzles. And he's got a lot of damage output. He's got a 1-to-1 ratio on his ult, which is an AoE if you are dumb enough to stand around his target, whoever picked up the fish. So he's got a lot of damage, he's really slippery, and he's got a lot of utility packed into his kit. So he's been really popular recently. I believe Northpaw is a frequent Fizz player, so that might be targeted at him, although I might be confusing him with someone else. I do that a lot. So Fizz, generally a good ban. Jace, as we saw last game, amazing poke with that Acceleration Gate Shock Blast combo. And if you build Jace with an Infinity Edge and Last Whisper, all he has to do is press Hypercharge and someone's getting deleted off the map. That's all it is. You can't really stop it. So between the poke and that insane damage, and after he's done pressing W, he's got like 5 more buttons to press, so that's more damage coming out. That's not a character you typically want to deal with. So Jace ban, a good choice. Kassadin, we've talked about him before. He just doesn't play by the rules. Wherever he wants to go, he's going, and if he's leaving, you're not following him because he's silencing you, he's slowing you, and he's hopping over another wall, and he's got amazing damage on top of it. So Kassadin, first priority ban, good choice. Now we're going to run through the in-game bans. First ban is Lulu. Lulu, most powerful support by a long shot. She has very high base damage. Her Glitter Lance is an AoE 90% slow. So very strong for kiting, and if you just build her tanky with CDR, it's going to be very difficult to kill her, because if you focus her, she's going to shield herself twice. If you focus someone else, she's going to shield them twice. And then she's got the polymorph, she's got speed up, bonus AP, she's got a lot of things packed into her kit. And while she's not really a character who wins fights by herself, if she's got a tag team partner, they're walking away with the belts. So very easy to piece her out. Amumu, #1 tank in Dominion, hands down. His one disadvantage is that his team fight presence is on the lower side without his ult, and it's on a fairly long cooldown. But I think the bigger problem with Amumu is that his skill floor is very low. If you can hit his Q and then you can just mash E while you're in the middle of everyone, you're just going to be puking damage. You build tanky, and you've got MR reduction. He works very well with AoE mages, and then his ult is a fight changer. You know, the second he presses that, your team is in hot water, so much easier to ban him. Elise, another dual kit character. Most of the dual kit characters in the game are broken on Dominion. You can build her several ways. I don't think tanky AP is very popular in Dominion. She just builds straight AP, Void Staff, Blackfire Torch. She just presses all her buttons and then switches to Spider Form, presses more buttons, and you're dead. And she's got a good reposition with the Spider, the Repel, and you can use that to dodge stuff too. So she is also pretty hard to kill. So Elise, a character that is very popular to ban because if you don't, someone's picking her. On the purple team's bans, they have KZ, who he just barfs damage. You know, the Q evolution does tons. I think it's the single target damage skill in the game outside of ultimates. If you evolve E, he resets on assist or kill, so he can just jump around more. And you know, that's just a lot of damage no one wants to deal with the prevalence of Last Whisper and Brutalizer. That's really hard to defend against. So that's not a character you want to deal with. Number 2 ban, Zyra. I like that. Zyra's not a character that I think is banned often enough. If we're up to me, she'd be banned every game because her kiting is just unparalleled. A team losing the windmill fight with Zyra is very rare, just because it's hard to burst. You can't burst down her plants, in fact, because they always take 3 hits to kill, and it's just free forward damage. It's just a free wall of damage that you have to get through. And then her ult has you know, the AoE knockup and a lot of damage, and she gets 20% CDR for free. You know, you don't want to deal with that. And jungle control with the C's if you step on one. So she's just got a lot of easy damage. Her plants proc Blackfire Torch. Very good character to ban. She's very good at poking and peeling too with her W. And then Wukong, as we saw last game, Wukong just builds armor penetration, damage, jumps into your team, presses R, everyone evaporates, and then he can press W to escape, or he can press W to dictate the engagement, to initiate, because if you don't have a sweeper for him and you don't see him coming in, he'll just creep up on you, 40% armor reduction, and then R, and you're dead. So that's a lot of damage coming out of Wukong. Very popular ban, very good ban right there.
Yeah, all that being said, I was about to say the Wukong, he did show a lot of things in Game 1. He kind of baited and outsmarted some of the people out there. You might want to call him a siren in that kind of sense as well. Lulu being banned out, I like the utility, the kit she brings. Same with Zyra as well, like you said. But overall, all the bans are pretty solid. Not so much like last time, but we'll probably see these bans pretty much come out throughout the whole tournament. So we'll see if they have the repeat bans, but we'll definitely have at least the Cassidy ban, most likely the Jace ban as well. Looking at the team comps right quickly for Sofa, they're going to be picking up some interesting picks, as well as the Minion, but I would say, I mean, truthfully, I haven't watched the Minion too much, but Quinn being picked up over there, that's a really interesting pick. Is that really going against that Ezreal that's going on off on the other side, or is Quinn a really, really good team fighter?
You know, I really don't know what to think of Quinn at the moment. I've only played her several times, and she's not a particularly popular pick in solo queue. She's kind of existing in this weird space where she's kind of half of an AD carry, half of a bruiser. But, you know, Sofa NDA's team composition is really interesting because they've actually ended up picking like kind of a double carry, double support. 2 carries with Kayle and sorry, I'm blanking on her name, Quinn. Mm-hmm. So you've got 2 ranged auto attackers who are going to be pumping out damage, unless Quinn goes a more bruisery build with something like Frozen Mallet. And then you kind of have Rammus+Sona. Sona probably will be picking up a Frozen Fist, Rammus being Rammus. So those 2 characters are going to be providing quite a bit of peel. So it's just interesting because Rammus is very much an all-in initiator, and then the rest of the team isn't quite so all-in, but they kind of all support each other because Kayle is a little supporty too with the move speed buff and the ultimate. So I'm kind of wondering how this double carry composition is going to work out for them. And then Michael Bay's probably going to be taking Syndra bottom. She's a fairly popular bottom because she's got a lot of safe range damage, a lot of poke. She gets ganked, she's got the stun, and then if anyone's dumb enough to go in on her, she's going to press ult and then your life bar evaporates.
Yeah, she has the best level 6, well, potential damage of burst. Well, that's pairing up with the Ignite, but again, that's Summoner Rift knowledge. Although I really like Syndra at the bottom lane. We've seen her being played quite a bit with Sauron. If If you guys don't know him, well, you should know him. Sauron and Infeed. I think it's Infeed, actually. That's more that plays him. But ever the bottom lane does amazing work with that. So I'm liking the Sauron pick. On the other hand, looking at the Minions lineup, they have a really solid, well, support going in. But they are looking to go pretty much all in onto the team literally through every fight.
Yeah. Purple team is looking quite a bit more like a protect the carry composition. Ezreal is already the most slippery AD carry in the game. Like, he does, out of all the AD carries, he's the one who needs the least protection just because of his arcane shift. It has, I think, the same range as Kassadin's ultimate Rift Walk, so he can hop over any wall in the game except maybe the summoner platform exit. So that's an advantage of Ezreal. But then they've got Leona. She can be played either as an all-in initiator or a peely tank, which is a big advantage, which is one of her biggest strengths. He's very versatile and brings a lot of team damage. So if anyone jumps on top of Ezreal and he's already burned his arcane shift, Leona can peel for him. Then we have a Jarvan right after him. He can Cataclysm, Ezreal can hop out of that, or he can just do the Demacian standard Dragon Strike knockup, so that's more peel. And then there's Morgana with C# Minor. I'm glad to see C# Minor pick Morgana. She's not a popular pick in Dominion, but I know he plays her a lot in solo queue with the Dark Binding, and also I have no idea what her ultimate is called, but the R. So this is yes, Soul Shackles. Thank you. So this is looking very much like a protect Ezreal composition. Not that Ezreal needs protection, but hey, more. And you know, as Falcon's Ezreal is packing that cleanse, so it's really a get past the rest of us, and maybe then you can take out our damage, but good luck doing it. And, I mean, you know, Jarvan, if they build him Bruiser, which they probably will, because they have two tanky characters with Leona and Morgana, he'll be bringing the pain up front, too. So that's very much a protect the carry comp up top. And then Hotcho's Ahri pick is an interesting pick. I don't remember, was he last pick, or was Michael Bay last pick? I can't remember.
It was Hotcho, that was the last pick. Okay,
so I'm not much of a bottom lane player, so I can't comment on this matchup. I don't play either of these characters. But Ahri versus Syndra is kind of it's an interesting pick. Ahri can push because she's got a lot of AoE damage, and she's very good at kiting, but Syndra's not a character that you want to kite because she's got a lot of long-range damage too. So if Ahri ever wants to finish off Syndra, she's going to have to go in with that ultimate, Soul Rush, I believe, is Spirit Rush. She'll have to kind of go all in with Spirit Rush, and that's kind of asking for Syndra to respond with Unleashed Power. So I kind of see this as a stalemate. Whichever team responds first to putting the pressure on the enemy bottom lane, that's probably where the advantage is going to come from. But, I mean, in a bubble, that 1v1 is probably just going to be a stalemate without a whole lot of kills going one way or the other, barring any large skill discrepancies between the two players.
Yeah, if one of them actually lands a skill shot onto each other, then it's going to be pretty devastating. I mean, if you learn the charge with Ahri and get a good combo out, probably level 6, Syndra probably will die, but if you get a Scatter of the Weak and a stun down from Syndra, it'll be the same way. So a lot of action will come down over there, but yeah, I do agree. It's probably just going to be trading out one for the other one. We're going to be starting out with the takes over here. Rammus going to go straight up to... Actually, going to in the midpoint, and then going to go straight up to the top, while J4 is going to do the same thing, going to take over the midpoint for the team of the Minion. So if we're going to be looking into this fight, this is going to be an interesting fight no matter what kind of case is going to be. A little bit of supporting this, but a little bit of poke as well going to come into play. Will the Minion handle this one down, or will Quinn and the rest of the crew of Sofa be able to try to take this one upward at the windmill?
And since Rammus has 0 poke, really what Rammus wants to do is go all in. And we see that split off, that Kayle is split off from the top. Leona's cutting him off. And Sona gets taken down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and we do see Northfall going to try to get that damage down, but it is going to mean we're going to be able to pick up another kill. Betty White going to be probably taken down from this one as well, but going to try to kite down as much as they can. Northfall probably can get one more kill, but unfortunately not going to get any. Now Falcon goes a little bit too far in advance. Valor going to be used, the Vault going to be used, but unfortunately not going to be enough. And it's going to be the take over at the windmill for the team of the Minion. Guess they didn't press Z or D fast enough to get back up there. And also as well, Northfall was not really focused down, but he didn't really, I guess, ultimately do that much damage to the whole team.
Right, because even though she's kind of a half bruiser, Quinn still doesn't bring a whole lot of damage until she's got a few items. So yeah, with that double carry build, two characters were very dependent on items for their damage output. They were kind of at a disadvantage, and we saw the Minion play very well using one character to zone out the half-dead team of Sofa while everyone else capped, so the point was capped by the time everyone with a revive got back up there. So very smart play by them.
And definitely, and we do see the whole team of the Minion being a little bit low. I don't know if they're actually going to try to hold this one up as long as they can, but they have the revives come back if need be. We do see Ipu Unicorn's going to go pull in onto Blue Kraken. Kraken going to be taking a lot of bit of damage, but not enough to actually take him down. Torment Cell going down. Great job getting C-Sharp Miner on the backside of that one. And it is going to be Ezreal going to be taking out one. Can he take out another one? Going to get the True Shot Barrage onto the Quinn. The Quinn's going to be backing away from this one, and the Rammus barely getting out by the skin of his teeth through that recall.
I think Rammus made a small misplay there. He started powerballing in, and then you saw him hesitate because it looked like he wanted to go for the Morgana, who was on almost 0 life, finish her off, and then press the 4v3 at the windmill point. But he veered off at the last second, and they're probably playing with voice chat. But still, that kind of mixed signal from your initiator never pans out well for your team fights. As the initiator, you got to send a clear message to the rest of your team. Either I'm going in or I'm bluffing. And it looked like Rammus himself didn't know which one he was doing, and it really shot them in the foot right there.
Yeah, that is a definite thing, and unfortunately Rammus did get, well, taken down from that one, and everything just dissipated from there. And we do see that advantage coming out for the Minion for quite a bit over at that top lane. On the other hand, if anything, Ahri did get tower dove, I think. That's pretty much what happened over in the bottom lane point, so that's unfortunate. And we'll see if Syndra can come back and push it in for the win over that bottom lane. But overall, North Pole going to be able to pick up the Shrine, going to be able to pick up the power buff from the Relic. And they're going to go for this midpoint with Rammus trying to help out with that sneaky take. They're probably going to try to push in, or they're going to try to go for this gank onto the Ezreal.
Oh, and well, while that back cap didn't seem to work out well initially because it was Leona of all characters who ended up catching out, this could end up in their favor because they seem to have a 4v3 right now, although that burst damage coming from Cataclysm and a safe Ezreal, that didn't work out in their favor at all. So that is Sofa getting taken out 2-3 for nothing in an advantage situation.
It was
while,
really sorry, go ahead.
While Morgana comes down bottom and takes out Syndra, and that's going to give a very definite advantage to Ahri right now, up 2 kills to nothing. And I'm surprised that I'm not seeing more bottom lane pressure from Rammus. As I said, he's a mobile defense platform. Anywhere he wants to be, he's there. So one of Rammus' strengths is powerballing into bottom lane, ganking. Maybe it won't be successful, but he'll be wherever else he wants to be in another 5 seconds. So I'm surprised to not see any bottom lane pressure from Rammus.
Cesario could have done the outplays as again. Unfortunately, not going to be able to outplay that more. I mean, the Ahri, and now we're going to see Quinn try to come down over in the Valor form, jacking him up and taking it down on the hot show. It will be that Valor proc coming in from the Harrier, and they're probably going to try to push over to this bottom lane, but unfortunately the Boneyard is going to be protected from the revived teleport, or revived Ahri, and we're going to see the Morgana probably help out as well. Seeing the mesh pressure coming up in the refinery for the team of Sofanda, and we'll see if Sofanda can actually hold this up. By the way, going to take a little bit of damage. But referring back to that windmill point very quickly before money goes down, that ultimate coming in from Leona yet again. Unfortunately, money's still going to be taken down from North Ball, but that ultimate coming out from Leona paid huge dividends with the Cataclysm on top of that. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the team of the Minion. They're using their comp to their advantage, really using the AoEs up really strongly to make everybody, well, go down. So we'll see if the Minion can keep on this wombo combo of 1-2 AoE ults down, or if they're going to try to keep on pressuring this refinery and also onto the bottom left, the quarry. So we'll see how this will go out in a little bit. Nerpal now getting a little bit of pressure, getting 3-0 onto the score. So he's going to get that item boost that he really needs right now. So I'm liking what Northfall, or what the team of Sofanda is really doing. They're helping Quinn get into that mid-game status where she's going to have a lot of damage, and she's going to be a force to be reckoned with soon.
Yeah, and you can see that Team the Minion is really pressing their advantage right now, because I think they've identified that Team Sofa NDA is running a double carry, so that's 2 characters who aren't very strong this early in the game. So they really need to, they're going to have to cut this game short if they don't want Kayle and Quinn to both spiral out of control. But it looks like they're going to finally be able to take the windmill, and things might start swinging up back into Sofa's favor, just because with two peels and 2 carries, things are going to get very dangerous once we hit 15-17 minutes.
Really great job over there at the end of everything. Trisha Barrage hitting at that Rammus, and Rammus getting killed by that minion. If you haven't heard it before, purple siege, purple caster, purple everything minions. A little bit stronger than blue minions, unfortunately. And also as well, Quinn getting protected from Kayle. Kayle, unfortunately, hitting the demise button, saying, I am going to die out from this one, but I'm going to protect my carry as much as I can. Northfall now 6-0-1, doing amazing. So we'll see how Northfall can keep up onto this damage. On the other hand, the minion's going to have some sort of answer. Probably just do dive onto Northfall, which they're going to try to catch on. That's when we start out Morgana. Morgana's going to have to try to do a flash and get in onto Northfall and make sure Northfall does not get out.
But yes, a dive with a Kayle on the team is always a very risky proposition because you could end up going all in on the character and they survive at the very last second due to a well-placed Kayle ult, and that's all your cooldowns wasted, and that character is still going strong, invincible. But it looks like things are really working out for Red Team there, a good dive from them. Although it looks like Rammus has successfully backcapped bottom, so that's a trade for a trade, so it's still going to be a 3-2 situation in Blue Team's favor.
Yeah, Pure Unicorns is unfortunately just going to get neutralized. Going to probably get helped by the minions. Going to be able to push up onto the point and going to be able to capture up the boneyard as well. So a 3-2 cap right now for the team Sofanda. They are down right now 285 to 409 on the point score, but we'll keep it going for them hopefully through this next little go. Hotcher going to be able to pick up the bottom lane again. Michael Bay going to be sought out. Going to miss off on the Zenith Blade from Blue Kraket. And we're going to see everything just reset in the lane. Everyone going back over the top. A windmill seems like the best spot to be for the whole team. Hopefully everybody can get there. Money going to be catched out by the team. Now I put you a corner to get chased him on to Ezreal. Ezreal going to get pulled in through the taunting pierce. And now we're going to see C-Sharp Miner going to try to help out the Ezreal. Ultimate coming down from Rammus. Rammus not going to be able to actually finish the kill. Northfall has to finish that one up, but they're going to get binded, going to get the Tormented Soul. Is that going to be enough? No, it will not be. And it is going to be the kill going to pick up one, and it is going to be the Quinn picking up the other.
And that was a very, very smart play by Rammus. You saw him charging in, just ignoring Jarvan, thinking, okay, the rest of my team can take down Jarvan. Charging headfirst into Ezreal. Ezreal says, I can't do this without any peel from me. And then he just walked away. So even without using just one skill, he forced Ezreal out of that fight, created an unfair situation in his team's favor, and they ended up winning that fight and taking mid, which is a very big victory for them.
Yeah, and we'll see if Money is going to be out again. Money was the one that was caught up the first time, and they actually get caught again. Betty White going to be able to get caught in by the Zenith Blade onto Shield of Daybreak. Get vaulted upon, and now we see Betty White going to be in a little bit of trouble. Can he get out of there? There's going to be one more shot for Money. Going to use the Cataclysm yet again as the kill shot. Now Northfall going to try to vault away. Will be able to get around, but he's not going to be able to defend over at the windmill point. Or is he going to be cheekily trying to just poke away? Money not going to try to catch onto him. This 1v1 battle could end up badly. Yeah, Money is going to get vaulted upon. And now we're going to see if that's going to be enough to get around from this. Money going to go get down. Going to get the health relic. And now we're going to see Windmill being contested yet again. Betty White going to keep on the pressure. Now we do see Seraph Money going to get the kill. It's actually Leona going to get the kill off of the ultimate. Now we're going to see Blue Kraket going to get into the face of everybody of the team. Cicely, we're going to be the one targeted it down. Cicely are going to be able to get taken down. Now we're going to see Betty White going to do tremendous amount of damage on the windmill point. Going to actually get the kill off the Morgana from the Quinn, and now we're going to see Falcon going down as well off the windmill. A great take. Have those revives come back again. Northfall going to be able to clean up one, and Sofanda going to be able to take out the windmill yet again.
And now we're only at 12 minutes, but we're seeing this double carry composition get very, very dangerous because the way that Red Team is building out, the Minion, Jarvan's going fairly tanky, so really their only real source of damage is Ezreal, and if Ezreal backs off every time Rammus comes at him, then that's pretty much all their damage cut off. And now, and then all it is Kayle and Quinn to chew through the tanks because it's just Rammus versus Ezreal. Ezreal's gonna take a sweet time killing Rammus, and then Blue Team can just kind of chew through the unfair fight. So there's a lot of good play coming from Rammus here with his bottom lane pressure, chasing off Ezreal, and he's really, I might be biased because I'm generally a tank player, but he's doing a lot of work here, although it might not be showing in his score.
I mean, he's providing a lot of assists, so that is a very good point. Money going to come in onto Northfall. This is a 3v1. It should be out and down for the Quinn. Northpaw going to be able to be taken down, and Falcon going to be able to hop out, secure over at the windmill. And I think Rammus is going to take his time thinking, okay, yeah, I've been helping up bot a lot. Now we're going to have to try to go refocus over at the middle, refocus on the windmill point, because that is going to be the point that will probably secure or break this game, I would believe. Although, looking at Sofanda, like, their team is very, I guess I would say, a little bit more annoying in the sense of they have a lot of mobility with the Rammus, and I do have to agree, the Rammus is doing a lot of work, just being a really big hindrance to this whole mobility comp of the Minion.
Oh, and that was a perfect ult from Sona, catching out Ezreal. Quinn makes very short work of him, and there's just not enough damage left on this team to take care of this. And, you know, Rammus is, he's exuding global presence. You know, the only true global left in the game is Shen, but with how small the map is, Rammus' Powerball may as well be a global. And, you know, we've seen Rammus apply enough pressure to capture that bottom point a few times. It looks like he's going for that again. So, you know, Red Team is having a lot of trouble responding to, looks like Rammus and protecting their Ezreal. They really want to, Ezreal really needs to have someone attached to him who can peel Rammus off of him. And then they just need to get that long-range Ezreal damage down, otherwise they're going to keep losing their fights because they just don't have enough damage outside of him.
I think the only thing that's really going for the Minion, other than they can secure kills back if ever they can clean up, this bottom lane's looking out so well, and having those 1-2 ganks in the beginning really helped out Ahri really snowball 6-3-0 compared to 2-5-1 over that bottom lane. So I'm liking the play of Hotcho to be keeping up this damage on Michael Bay, and we'll hopefully see Michael Bay try to even it out. But yeah, Hotcho is looking again to try to snipe down on the Michael Bay, and that is another point of discussion that will be talked about. Over in the top, Windmill going to be taken down, Money going to be able to pick up the kill onto the kill, but we do see Ipu Unicorns yet again be the main focus point, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to really do anything else, because Northpaw is going to go and clean up a double kill over at the Windmill. We're going to see if Ipu Unicorns is actually going to go right in, try to catch up on C# Miner. I doubt they're actually going to get in there. I doubt Cerciero is really going to keep on kiting down. Yeah, he's going to get caught in, and Money should be able to fish that one out.
That looked like a bit of team miscommunication there. Cerciero still pushing for that middle point. If Quinn and Rammus had followed him down, they could have taken that easily, but Rammus and Quinn peeled off to take care of Ahri, which in my opinion was the better call, but they could have done either. It's just if the whole team had committed to it, Sona would be alive right now. So that looks like a bit of a miscommunication there. Sofa NDA is a relatively new team, so, and as far as I know, they don't practice or scrim. So that's quite a bit of team play error on their part. But it still worked out for them in the end, because, you know, when you have Rammus, it's like having a 6v5. You can 2v1 the bot lane, and then you can come back up for a 4v4 5 seconds later.
That power ball is showing big dividends. Ipu Unicorn going to get caught in a little bit of damage, but going to tank a lot of it back. Again, I don't know if you can really focus down onto this huge monstrosity of a tank, which is just growing ever so slightly bigger, and that's going to give Northpaw the chance to actually get even huger at herself, 15-3-5, having a Phantom Enter with the Last Whisper, doing a tremendous amount of just damage overall, but also penetrating through as well. So we're going to get caught in between everybody and get a lot of damage in, but again, the tanks are going to go in. We're going to see if Money's in there to try to get on Northpaw. There's the ultimate coming out from Kayle, and his ultimate is not going to be enough to save out Kayle. Now Northpaw going to be cut in, and you're going to be cut down from the team. That is a double kill coming out from C# Miner, and Ipu Unicorns in a little bit of a disagreement with himself. He's trying to go each and every way. Unfortunately, going to go pick out the turret, and unfortunately going to be taken down as well.
And we saw Hotcho's Ahri actually pull up, leaving an empty net, which Michael Bay responded to very well by saying, you know what, we can lose that fight up top, I will take bottom. And it's still a 3-2 situation for Blue Team. And while they were fighting in that jungle by the Minion Speed Shrine, we saw a very good formation with Ezreal kind of by the health relic, Jarvan cutting off one point of entry, Leona cutting off the other, kind of trying to body block Rammus from getting on top of him. But once they broke that formation, you know, all hell broke loose, and it's about to break loose again. And that is another dead Ezreal, and that is more offense. They're taking this windmill 100% easily. Blue Team, Sofa NDA knows exactly what they need. They have identified exactly what they need to do to win this game, and they keep doing it. And if the Minion doesn't find a way to respond to their game plan, then I'm I might have to call this right now.
Yeah, it's looking like it. I mean, Sofa NDA came back from a big deficit, coming back in, and now they're up 174 to 113 on the point score. Northpaw just getting in so much damage, 16-4-7. Has the Lightbringer, or Blinger, right? Yeah, Lightbringer and also the Phantom Dancer, so it's going to keep on this mobility plus damage output. A lot of attack speed coming in for Northpaw, and a lot of damage output just pure coming into the team. And yeah, he's getting protected really, really well. On the other hand, Ezreal not getting any protection at all because, yeah, Rammus is just coming in, and Rammus coming down over at bot lane. Hacho in a little bit of trouble. Can he actually get the kill on the Michael Bay? No, Michael Bay's going to go clear that one up for himself.
And it's not that the minion isn't protecting Ezreal, it's that one mistake and Ezreal's gone, and they don't have a backup plan to cover for that. So as we can see now, Quinn finishes off Ezreal, and then the rest of this fight is just going to go to them easily. Like, look at how quickly Quinn and Kayle together are just shredding through Morgana and Leona. And, Morgana's building kind of off-tanky, but you don't see too much damage coming out from Jarvan and Morgana. They are just simply losing the damage race as soon as Ezreal's out of the equation. He doesn't even need to be dead. He just needs to be zoned by Rammus, and they're in trouble.
And it's looking like it on the point score as well. The minion probably going to have to use up this last battle to try to secure some semblance of control in this game. The pace, the pace has been set by Sofanda, and hopefully they'll keep it going. Cicero going to be caught out in the middle of nowhere. Unicorn going to go try to pick up on the Falcon, but just keeps on going to the top lane. Northpaw now going to go on the C-Sharp Miner. Going to get cut down by the Soul Shackle. It's going to be comboed up, but the invulnerability shield coming out from that Kayle is not going to be enough to intervene with everything. Now Betty White going to go pick it up onto Blue Cracker. Going to pick up one. No, actually could not finish up the kill. Now Falcon going to go chase down onto Betty White. Betty White going to get out of there, and we're going to see finally the minion going to try to control over this top lane, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Bottom lane, Hacho going to try to take over the Boneyard, but it is going to be too late. GG is going to be coming out, well plays, and Sofanda Cox is going to be able to pick up game number 2, round 2 for this one.
And that was a really good game by both teams. I think Red Team, they expressed their intentions a little too clearly at Team Select. I would have liked to see more damage items on Jarvan. I think a more damage-oriented Jarvan would have swung things in their favor. He, if I recall correctly, started with a Brutalizer and a Randuin's. So the Randuin's was a good choice for peeling, but, again, when you put all your eggs in one basket, and the other team figures that out, they're just going to kick that basket over, and then you can't even make an omelet because those eggs are dirty. And, every time we saw a fight, and, Ezreal didn't even die that many times, 7 times. That was second least after Leona. And he did a lot of work. 12-7-12 is a very good record, but he doesn't even need to die. Once he gets zoned out of the fight, once he gets disabled anything, especially once we hit that 15-minute mark where Quinn and Kayle both get a lot of damage. That's a damage race they're losing, and all the people in the world can't make up for that.
Yeah, the damage was just quite immense between Betty White and Northpaw, and then having the intervention shield coming in, Quinn just getting protected, or Kayle getting protected in bad positioning or mispositioning, and then Unicorn just goes into the backline, says, "Hey, what's up, Ezreal? I'm just not making sure that you actually kill my carries as fast as you can." So, really, really smart play coming out for Sofanda, and they are going to move on to the 3rd round. I think it's going to be the semifinals of this one. We're probably going to go to a break onto this one. This is DominateDominion number 63. L3RD, the bird getting some words with Yes Man Kablam. Me commentating for this one, and we'll be right back after this break.